The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are dressed for their funeral. This is so chic, very chic. Paper's examination of Bravo's sprawling cohort of fashion obsessives. From haute couture to TJ Maxx, they've literally worn it all. We've just got two questions. Is it so chic? Is it very chic? The most astute observation on contemporary society was made in the canceled too soon TV show The Other Two. In an early episode, a character repeatedly Googles Lisa Vanderpump how old. It's basically what life looks like on a daily basis now, except I'm more keen to Google Kyle Richards' sexuality. Such is the case for most viewers of the dreary new season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So far, it primarily concerns Richards' anxious attachment style with her ex-husband and a scammer named Amanda Francis, who mostly sits in various restaurants in knockoff Chanel blazers describing herself to complete strangers as a guru and boss bitch thought leader. It's riveting television for the shadows on the wall of Plato's cave, I'm sure, but I still have just one life to life, and I'd rather spend it doing anything else but fussing over Richards' refusal to name maybe not ex-girlfriend Morgan Wade on national television. Social media tells me that the closet case representation in the gay hockey show you're all obsessed with will have a trickle-down effect on down-low individuals in the NHL and elsewhere. If that's the case, why hasn't it made the world safe enough for the Real Housewives stars to admit they sometimes date women? Huh? Seems like everyone's favorite gay hockey show has failed in the one duty fans have saddled it with, besides being outright porn I can have on a second screen while catching up on my quests in Genshin Impact this Christmas. At least Amanda has those knockoff Chanel blazers for me to bitch about this week. Shall we? The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I lied about there being knockoff Chanel blazers to bitch about this week. Instead, I'd like to first focus on how hot Rachel Zoe looks in this Sherpa vest. I don't think I ever envisioned myself saying things like, Rachel Zoe looks hot in a Sherpa vest, but we live in a brave, new world. This is simply how I adapt to it. Besides the Sherpa vest, I love that she always seems plucked right from the background of Almost Famous, a movie she probably thinks she's living in. Sutton Strake. It's funny to know that sat across from the Sherpa vest is Sutton in a blazer. Longtime readers will know that Sutton is always in a blazer, but this one is special. She's in a blazer, and it's embellished on the collar. Nobody in the history of blazer design has ever thought of this before. Her croc effect Birkin only adds to the tension of the outfit, as does her tightly drawn-on waterline and MAC lipstick in twig. We often see Boz in orange, and thank God. She looks stunning here, from the hair to the wrap to the color of this dress. It's an outfit where going big has real payoff, although I'd like to have seen something with a bit heftier fabric. This isn't to call the dress inherently cheap, but in the wide shocks, I could have sworn it was made from the stretch jersey that they use for most downstream TJ Maxx designer clothing. Sutton Strake and Bozoma St. John. Later in the episode, Boz wore gold to her singles mixer while everyone else wore black. Sutton specifically wore a black jumpsuit with butterfly sleeves and no tracks in her hair. I don't like either of these outfits, but at least one of them dressed for the occasion. While Boz looks like those women who film Get Ready With Me videos for their anniversary with a man they met on a cruise, Sutton looks like she's at the wake for the third husband she hated and his new wife, who both fell off the side of the cruise Boz met her man on. Dorrit Kemsley and Rachel Zoe. Elsewhere at the singles mixer was Dorrit in a mesh outfit and Rachel Zoe in fur and sequins. Zoe, in a confessional, said women shouldn't look like they'd gotten ready when on a date, as it is a turnoff for guys to think a woman is high maintenance. I don't know what about her 14 feet of blonde hair or for she'll scream low maintenance, but I'm happy that she's happy. Dorrit, meanwhile, is Sutton's +1 to the wake of that poor man and his poor new wife. I hear they're making a true crime documentary about the cruise, after a TikTok video said the cartel was involved. Erika Jayne. Erika didn't even attempt to dress for a singles mixer. She moonlights as a funeral director at the place they held the wake, and had to leave the singles mixer early to set up the flowers and field inquiries from the press, who lined up outside with the influencers streaming on TikTok Live. The Real Housewives of Potomac.
Gizelle Bryant.
This is probably the first time that Gizelle looks like she didn't get dressed in the dark. She very much got dressed in a well-lit room and made the best possible choice from the worst of her closet. Jokes aside, I think this color is beautiful, despite the fact she's washed out by the hair and glam, which is just a bit too peachy for a nude illusion dress. Another positive? I find the lack of a necklace or pendant refreshing. Most lesser stylists would suggest one, what with the low cut of this dress and all. But I find it works just fine without. Ashley Darby. Ashley Darby did get dressed in the dark, but that's only because she is also Carmen Sandiego and oftentimes has to change in supply closets and in the bathrooms of planes to foreign countries, where she'll also have to change in a confessional booth or basement spy hideout. I don't know whether to laugh or cry about the gloves, but I do know I should laugh at the balmain skirt and blazer set. In fact, I'm laughing at the hat too for sure, and I suggest my readers do the same. Stacey Rush. Hello, wow. I didn't know this week's column would contain an entry for the most beautiful woman in the world contest I hold periodically. What a surprise, Stacey. This gold is delicious, and such a refreshing take on fashion and being beautiful after last week's boob prison dress. I love the subtle flower detail, I love the glam, and I love the color of this hair. Kudos, mama. Kiarna Stewart. Kiarna is not a very good Real Housewives star, but she is a phenomenal dresser. This September dress and the braided brown look are exquisite. I wish the taste levels carried into her choice of enemies and allies, but beggars can't be choosers. On a show oftentimes starved for taste, Kiarna is a ray of absolute sunshine. Should I offer some small criticism? I'd like to see her makeup artist move away from this specific eye shape with the wide highlighter under the brow and carved-out crease. It's dated in a way that clashes with how forward-thinking the clothes are. Wendy Osifo. I found it silly that this is the dress Wendy wore to beef with her mom on screen. It's a delightful little number, despite how washed out the glam is. The heart cutout is funny enough, but then they went and bedazzled the outline. It's like the dresses I used to envy in the windows at Limited Too. Angel Massey. I oftentimes forget that Angel is a cast member on this show. It's not her fault that she's been ceremonially dumped from the group hangs, or that the clothes swallow her whole. Well, I guess it is her fault on both fronts, but I know she did her best. Now she's gone, and I've already forgotten her again. Hey, at least she gave us some drama with this make